Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on a beautiful day. Got the hot cocoa and marshmallows. So cozy here in the library. And I want to talk about the greatest book ever. And you might be thinking, well, Megas, that's a pretty big statement, but I can back it up. And I want to give you an example of that. I want to read this message to you about the book I'm about to share with you. The book is Asha by Winston Head. Here's what this wonderful person said here. It said, Asha is thank you. I love you. Blessings to you and your family. I was miserable, and I prayed God would send me healing of the terrible OCD, anxiety, fear, phobias, nightmares. Then my son Stefan said, Mom, you have to listen to this guy on YouTube. And he played the video of the sacred text of the Order of the Magi. I knew Asha was going to heal me, and it did. A lot of the fear was about God. Asha set me free. God is loving, merciful, and kind. Is that beautiful? And I've kept in touch with this person for years, and she's still healed, and she's had even more testimonies of just miraculous things since then because of this tiny little orange book. You know, it's kind of cute. This book has taken on a life of its own without me. And just recently in the comments, a gentleman that knows how much I love books and spiritual books, he's all, Megas, you have to check out Asha by Winston Head if you love Magi text. He says you'll love it. And I said, you know what, my friend, I have a feeling I probably will. And I want to read you just a little bit out of it. Matter of fact, you know what we might do? We're doing book club right now. We're in To Kill a Mockingbird. And oh my God, we're 2 chapters in. I haven't had a feeling about a book like this since like Picture of Dorian Gray, Circe, this kind of writing. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm so excited about book club. Matter of fact, book club, if you're here right now, I'll see you later this afternoon with chapter 3. Maybe we should do a book club also on Asha. We could go through the 16 statements and teachings, like do maybe one a day. So let me just share a little bit of the greatest book ever with you. So there's a statement and there's a teaching. If you have your book, you can just write in the numbers. So this is Asha 1. And it says, I am God's thought. I live in God's idea. Perfection. Let's break that down. I. Who is I? I want you to learn how to take these words and make them a part of you, because when you get the word behind the words, that's when the Magi magic happens. So who is I? What is I? Think about that. I think people miss this, and this is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. I mean, all the great thinkers like Socrates, know thyself. What am I? What is an I? And for myself, the best I could break it down is I am conscious energy vibrating in a form, right? Form and matter is just energy. I'm conscious energy. My form changes. I mean, I look at pictures when I was a little kid to now that I'm a 53-year-old man, and the changes that I look at my photo albums and photos, my whole form has changed. There's not one cell that's the same. What am I? I've had many different jobs. I've had many different roles. Husband, father, boat captain, right? And we try to make that our image, our I, but those things can change over time, right? I'll always be a father, though. It's my nature. I am conscious energy vibrating in a form. There's that I, that knowing that's behind all the many different forms and jobs that I've taken on, that's always there. I am God's thought. Okay, well, there's a lot of different gods, right? A lot of different ideas of God. What is God? So if I'm a God's thought, what is God? I figured out what I am. What is God? That's going to make a big difference in the kind of world you create. There's gods, right? They get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, and children. Tell you to go in and kill everyone and bring back the spoils. Tell you to stone your children when they're disrespectful. They can be real loving and kind as long as you're doing what you're told. But if you don't, they could cast you to a fiery hell for eternity. It's pretty scary stories. Is that your idea of God? You know, the definition of God, the Germanic definition of God is highest principle of good. If that's your highest idea of the principle of good, you know, your life will never rise above that. The religions teach you can't rise above your God, right? That's blasphemy. So if your God loves and hate, peace and war, and has hell and torment, and that's what the world you're going to create, because that's the energy, the spirit that you're holding, you're vibrating in that frequency, and you're creating that world. What we vibrate, what we believe is. No, not truly is. It's kind of a dream. You know, when you step out of it, you go into samadhi or deep meditation, or people die and pass on, you'll rise above all those stories. You'll see, oh, that wasn't real. Phew. It's like waking up from a nightmare. Oh, thank God that wasn't real. God doesn't get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill, all this trouble and suffering. That was just a dream that I dreamed up in my mind. Like eating the wrong food right before you go to bed, right? It's not real. We want to find that real energy, our true selves, the real God, the real world. That's what this is all about, my friends. To know the real. Now, the God, the good of the Magi, it's the highest principle. As high as you can dream of good, and then it's even better than that. Always leaves room for that ever-expanding evolution that Asha 1 speaks of. Our very baseline is just good, unmixed. Zoroaster means unmixed, undefiled, undiluted. It's not dark and light, love and hate, peace and war. It's just good. That's our baseline. And then the evolution grows from that, ever-expanding good. That's the God, good. God and good is the same thing. And our idea of God is higher than that. It says, I am God's thought. What is a thought? If I'm a thought and I'm God's thought, what is a thought? A thought is creative. A thought makes reality. A thought is an energy that makes form and matter. I am God's thought. I want you to real quick turn back to the very first page. It says, realize you are from good spirit, made of good spirit, and shall return to good spirit. When you understand this, your vibration, your energy rises, and you become a mighty spiritual force creating in the plastic medium of creation. My friend, you come from God. You're made of God. You shall return to God because you are God. You come from God. You're made of God. You are God stuff. And so start to change your idea of what God is. It's not a guy in the sky judging. It's not a guy in the sky that watches little puppy dog run out in the street and get hit and doesn't do anything about it. Those ideas you wonder, always asking why. God is a force of good. It's a force. It's an energy. It's a spirit. You are that. And there is no separation from that. And depending on how much you allow yourself to be that is how much of that you will experience and create. How much you will live in the real. And the real is the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind, perfection. Which takes us to the rest of the statement of Osho 1. I am God's thought. I live in God's idea, perfection. How far are you willing to go? Oshavan, truth knower. And to know this truth was to be it. It is you. I am that highest principle of God good, and it is me. We are one, and there's no separation. And as I hold that frequency, I create it, and I become such a love, and I create such a light that darkness cannot enter. Hate, fear, greed cannot enter. And you will create a real that you step into, and you'll be able to say, like our wonderful friend here, Asha is. Just that alone, Asha is. The perfect creator's perfect idea. I get it, Magus. Asha is. Thank you, Magus. I love you. Blessings to you and your family. I was miserable and I prayed God would send me healing of the terrible OCD, anxiety, fear, phobias, nightmares. Then my son Stefan said, Mom, you have to listen to this guy on YouTube. He played the video of the sacred text of the Order of the Magi. I knew Asha was going to heal me, and it did. Asha is. And that's just the first statement of the 16 statements. We didn't even get to the teaching. We'll hit that next time. I love, love, love you.